Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. Welcome back to True Crime Strategic, guys. Got a real crazy show for you guys. Big shout out to the research crew who brought this to my attention. A little over 2 hours ago, there was breaking news that was brought to our attention by the New Britain Police Department in this case of Jacqueline Torres. We covered this case a couple days ago. It's got some good traction. That's what we do on this channel. We try to give a voice to the voiceless. We try to cover stories that have not made the mainstream media yet, because everybody deserves to have their voice heard, not just the popular stories that get a lot of views. But this little girl is getting the attention she deserves, and I appreciate everybody who's supporting the channel, and I appreciate everybody who's willing to watch videos that may not be popular simply because it's the right thing to do to seek justice for these folks who aren't being heard. Now, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we heard some disturbing news during this press conference, which I'm going to play for you guys in just a second. We heard that this beautiful girl has most likely been deceased since 2024, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
2024. And this is why we ask the questions that we ask. This is why when you come to this channel, you're watching an active duty detective. And when you come to this channel, you are baby detectives. And you got to think like a detective. You got to put your brain in a zone where you ask questions with everything that's told to you. So when the father said that he had not spoken to his daughter since before her birthday, which was January 29th of 2025, we asked the question.
Does that make sense?
We said, what does before January 29th actually mean?
Does that make sense?
Because that could mean at any point it could have been January 28th of 2025, could have been December of 2024, could have been January of 2024, could have been any date in the past. So we asked ourselves, because the last time he spoke to his daughter would have been the last time that we could verify, at least from his statement, she was alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Does that make sense?
So we needed to know. We needed to know, when was the last time he spoke to his daughter? He didn't say. We don't know why he didn't say. Because now that this girl is gone, everybody's going to be under scrutiny. And the last thing anybody involved in this case is going to want to do is to paint themselves in a negative light. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the last time this little girl was alive was fall of 2024. Fall of 2024.
Oh my God!
It's a pattern that we see too often in these cases. Nobody cares about these victims until they're gone. Let me say that one more time. These things happen because people don't care about these children. Now, I didn't make this video come for the dad. He says that it was a custody situation and DCF gave full custody to his baby mama. Now, listen, I don't deal with family law. I deal with criminal law. I lock up pedophiles. That's what I do for a living. But I know a little bit about custody in this country. Even if a parent gets full custody, that does not mean you don't have visitation rights. It doesn't mean you can't see your child. Even if you're a bad parent, you're a terrible parent, you're a criminal, you got a crazy criminal record, you have a history of abuse, you still are entitled to supervised visits. There's very few circumstances in America where they will say you can no longer visit your children, and that's when they take your parental rights away. Now, to my knowledge, there are no proceedings that took the parental rights away from the father. So my question is, my brother in Christ, why did you not see or hear from your daughter, since we know from the police fall of 2024? Why? Because nobody cares until these kids are gone. But guess what? We care. We care. That's why we're here doing this show, because we care. That's why we do a day job where we try and protect children from pedophiles, because we care. We care, we care, we care. And Jacqueline Torres will not be forgotten. We will get justice for Jacqueline Torres. Now, Before we get started on this press conference that's behind me right now, I want to switch over to this article where there's a new arrest in this case. The aunt has been arrested as well. Let's look into the details. Police say they have arrested the mother and aunt of 12-year-old whose body was found in a container behind an abandoned home in New Britain last week, and there is a warrant for the mother's boyfriend. So guys, it is a rumor that people are saying that the mother's boyfriend ended himself. That is not true. If it was true and the police verified it, they would not have a warrant for a body, okay? For a soul, okay? So don't believe everything you hear on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe it. And I got to tell you, some interesting folks coming in my comment section. I think somebody related to this young woman, to Jacqueline Torres, came in my comment section, and the way that they was beasting and so upset with the fact that I was bringing awareness to this, I don't want to say who I think it was, but it can't be these folks because they're in jail, or this guy's on the run and the rest of them is in jail. Might have been somebody on the other side of the family, but whatever. Listen, it's nothing but love here. I'm going to do what I do regardless, okay? I'm here for the kids. Now, let's keep going. The charges for the mother, Karla Garcia, and her boyfriend include murder and conspiracy to commit murder, according to the police. The aunt, Jacqueline Garcia, has been charged with cruelty to persons as well as additional charges. So basically what they're saying is she participated in the abuse of Jacqueline Torres. Let's keep going. Mind you, she also has a charge that she caught in 2024 for abusing an unknown child. I think it was a 5-month-old, where ribs were broken in that 5-month-old. These people are diabolically evil to children. Let's say that one more time. These people are diabolically evil to children, but we got something for them. It's called a school of hard knocks. We're going to send you to jail for the rest of your life. Let's keep going. Bond for Karla Garcia was set at $5 million, bond, and for Jacqueline Garcia for $1 million. Police are looking for Karla Garcia's boyfriend, Jonathan Nanita. He is also being charged with tampering with evidence, according to police. His bond has been set at $5 million. Police said they gave him bond before he even saw the judge. They got a warrant for him. Let's keep going. During the news conference on Monday afternoon, we're going to see that news conference right now. Family members identified the little girl as Jacqueline Torres and said they called her Mimi. Police called this one the worst cases that they've ever seen, ladies and gentlemen. They murdered her and put her in a barrel in an abandoned building's backyard. What we're going to hear from that press conference is apparently they was moving from house to house with her body in the barrel. I guess they got tired of the smell and put it in a backyard somewhere. If they would have probably kept that body in the basement where they was keeping it, guess how many people would have probably asked questions about where's Jacqueline Torres? 0. Why? Like we say on this channel all the time, because nobody cares until these kids are found deceased. That's why. Let's keep going. Police called this one of the worst cases they've ever seen. This is a heartbreaking and deeply disturbing case. Our detectives, along with our local and state partners, have worked tirelessly to uncover the truth and bring justice for Jacqueline. Amen to you guys. God bless the boys in blue. God bless America. God bless those brave law enforcement people who go out there every day to protect citizens on American soil. We got heroes that work across the seas, over the seas, and that's our military. But a lot of people don't speak about the people who serve at home. Our brothers and sisters in law enforcement who fight the battle at home to keep American citizens safe from the evil that exists within their families and in their communities and sometimes even their neighbors. That battle is fought home by those boys in blue, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's keep going. Hold on, my phone is going crazy. I want to make sure. Okay, cool. Make sure Aki isn't screaming at me. Guys, please hit that like and subscribe button. Please support the channel. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We need you guys to hit that like button. We need you also to speak inside of that chat. Engage with the chat so we can get into that algorithm. Let's keep going. This is a heartbreaking, truly disturbing case. Our detectives, along with our state local partners, we read that already. No child should ever have to endure such suffering. New Britain Police Chief Matt Marino and Farmington Police Chief Paul Melanson said in a statement. Officers found Torres' remains when they were responded to an area of 80 Clark Street in New Britain on Wednesday afternoon. to investigate a report of suspicious behavior, and they discovered a large container in the backyard along the fence line. When officers opened the container, they found human remains inside. During a news conference on Monday afternoon, police said a person who saw the suspicious behavior last week reported that someone was dropping things off, including the storage bin where Jacqueline Torres' remains were ultimately found. So that's like a very, very person who's in tune with the community, because this is a abandoned house and somebody's dropping stuff off, and somebody's like, yo, you can't be dumping stuff in this abandoned house. I'm calling the cops and telling. A lot of times people will mind their business. This person's like, nah, you're not using this. It looks terrible enough for the community. We don't need to use this as some dumping grounds. I'm calling the cops. Big shout out to them for doing that, because we found out this horrific tragedy. So let's keep going. New Britain Police Chief Matt Marino said the body was in an advanced stage of decomposition, and police revealed that they think the little girl died in the fall of 2024. The fall of 2024. Wow. The family has been living in Farmington, according to the police, and they believe that Jacqueline was the victim of prolonged abuse and malnourishment. They believe that her body had been kept in the basement of the family's home, then moved in 2025 when the family moved to another location. The last known schooling Jacqueline Torres was homeschooling. New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart said there is no apparent connection to the home where the little girl's body was found. Stewart said the house has been vacant for more than 2 years. Let's go over to that press conference now. Thank you for sticking with me. I wanted to make sure you guys got that good information on the front end. Now let's get all the information together right now.
Today I want to start this press conference by offering my condolences to those dealing with all of the emotions and frustrations around and surrounding these absolutely terrible circumstances. Our prayers and our thoughts go to the family. From the beginning, every agency that was involved in this investigation has been in constant communication with one another and worked tirelessly towards one common goal, and I can say that now. Our goal has always been to seek justice for Jacqueline Torres. I want to thank the men and women that are standing behind me who have been working around the clock to get us to this point. There have been a very concerning amount of rumors and mistruths that have been posted all over social media, and our goal today is to provide you with as many of the facts as we can. On a personal note, as a mother, this makes me sick to my stomach to be standing here today with what we're about to tell you. On Wednesday, October 8th, when a report of suspicious activity at 80 Clark Street in New Britain came in from an anonymous caller requesting police, responding officers had no idea what they would be walking into. This caller reported suspicious activity at a known abandoned house in their neighborhood. This house had been vacant for over 2 years, and it is owned by an out-of-state landlord from New York. None of those determined to be involved with this case have ever resided at this property. I want to thank the initial caller for speaking up, for having the courage to say something.
Amen.
Without that initial call, no one can say for certain where we would be at this point in time. I want to welcome to the podium
Nobody was looking for Jacqueline, guys. So apparently she was homeschooled. So it's not like the school can make a report that she's not coming to school. There's no, there's nothing. Nobody can say anything. Nobody would have. Her own father wasn't looking for her, ladies and gentlemen. No disrespect. It is what it is. Facts are facts. And this is what we see here. Obviously, if she had an involved father, he'd be calling 911. I haven't seen my kid in a long time. And maybe we could have got a wellness check and got to the bottom of this. All right. Since fall of 2024, nobody has looked for this child. It took an anonymous person in a community reporting somebody illegally dumping materials in the yard of an abandoned house for us to discover this little girl. Eventually should have been discovered. Maybe the landlord in New York who owns that house would have went there, seen people dumping stuff on his property, start looking through it, and then, discovered it. Maybe a homeless person looking for things to sell would have looked in it and then discovered it. But other than that, maybe months or years from now, we would not have discovered this now, because nobody was looking for this beautiful little girl. Big shout out to Mary Hubbard with a $10 super chat. We appreciate you. Let's keep going.
Farmington Town Council Chair Joe Capodiferro to offer a few words.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Joe Capodiferro, the Town Council Chair of Farmington. I can't really add too much more to what the Mayor just said, but first I also want to offer my condolences to everybody that's been affected in this tragedy. This type of investigation not only has affected the community, but also all that have worked in this investigation to bring justice for Jacqueline. I want to thank the members of the Farmington Police Department, the Brighton Police Department, Connecticut State Police, the State's Attorney's Offices of New Britain and Litchfield, and the Chief of Medical Examiner's Office. And I'll turn it back over to the Mayor.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you for your partnership and all the cooperation with the town of Farmington. This time, I'd like to invite to the podium the Chief of Police of the City of New Britain, Matthew Marino.
Thank you, Mayor. First, on behalf of all the men and women here from the New Britain Police Department and the Farmington Police Department, I'd like to echo the Mayor's initial remarks and offer our sincerest condolences to those impacted by this tragedy. There are no words that can make sense of a situation like this. Since October 8th, it has been the goal of every law enforcement agency involved to seek justice. While the limited information provided until today undoubtedly resulted in increased frustration across our communities, the purpose was to avoid any potential damage to the integrity of this investigation. To suggest any other explanation is an unfair judgment on the people you see standing behind me. This was not easy for anyone, and we should all take the time to recognize that their efforts are what brought us to this point, less than a week later. Now I'd like to give everyone a bit of a timeline. After responding officers made their initial discovery, the property of 80 Clark Street was established as a crime scene. Based on discussions with the New Britain State's Attorney's Office, the Connecticut State Police Central District Major Crimes Unit was requested to assist with processing this scene. At that time, the remains discovered inside the plastic storage bin were in an advanced state of decomposition. As a result, arrangements were made with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner for assistance. Members of our detective division continued to piece together what limited information was available to better determine a timeline and possible sequence of events leading up to our initial response. Through a cooperative and intensive investigation involving our department, the Farmington Police Department, Connecticut State Police, the Office of the State's Attorney for the Judicial Districts of Litchfield and New Britain, and the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the child we found was positively identified as 12-year-old Jacqueline Torres. Now, while our efforts continued, we were made aware of and monitored several pieces of information circling different social media outlets, and I'd like to dispel some of those rumors. At no point during the course of this investigation was anyone arrested then released. Several individuals were brought in for interviews at different times over the last 5 days, but no official arrests were made until last night. At no point were requests for information being ignored. The limited information provided since last Wednesday came after careful consideration and much conversation with every agency involved, with the sole purpose of seeking justice for Jacqueline by not compromising any part of this investigation. Any notifications that were made carefully by law enforcement officers in accordance with state guidelines and not done in any way that could create doubt or conflict regarding procedure being followed. And now at this time, I'd like to turn the podium over to Chief Paul Melanson of the Farmington Police Department, who has additional information.
Thank you. Investigators from the Farmington Police Department, with the assistance from the New Britain Police Department, have determined that Jacqueline likely died in the fall of 2024 while her family was still residing in Farmington. Evidence indicates that Jacqueline was the victim of prolonged physical abuse and malnourishment prior to her death. It is also believed that following her death, Jacqueline's body was kept in the family's basement and subsequently moved when the family relocated from Farmington in March of 2025.
Wow.
As a result of our investigation, 2 individuals have been taken into custody in connection with Jacqueline's death. Jacqueline's mother, Karla Garcia, was located last night by members of the Farmington and New Britain Police Departments and arrested on the strength of an arrest warrant charging her with Connecticut General Statute 53A-54B, which is murder with special circumstances, along with several other additional charges. Karla's sister, Jacqueline Garcia, was also arrested and charged with Connecticut General Statute 53-20, cruelty to persons under 19 years of age,
Right.
along with other related charges. Jonathan Nanita, Karla's boyfriend, has an active arrest warrant, which is also charging him with 53A-54B murder with special circumstances, amongst other charges.
All right, so what are we hearing so far? The basically torture of this young woman was a family affair. It was a family affair, ladies and gentlemen. The entire family was hurting Jacqueline. Mommy, auntie, boyfriend / stepdaddy, if you want to call him that. And we're getting confirmation, as I told you guys in the intro of the show, that Jonathan, who is the boyfriend, is still alive. He's with us and he's on the run. He's on the run, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going.
Additionally, the New Britain Police Department also has obtained an arrest warrant charging Jonathan with 53A155 tampering with physical evidence for actions taken leading up to the initial police response to 80 Clark Street and the subsequent discovery in the rear yard.
So he was the
Complete list
one,
of charges.
basically he was the one who was moving the body around. That's what they're charging him with. He was the one who was helping hide the body.
For each of the
This dude right
individuals
here.
will be made available at the end of the remarks. But out of respect for all those affected and to ensure the integrity,
That guy is a fugitive, ladies and gentlemen.
like Chief Marino had said, of the ongoing investigation, we will not be releasing further details at this time. This case is a deeply heartbreaking and disturbing case. Our detectives, with our local and state partners, have worked tirelessly to uncover the truth and to bring justice for Jacqueline. No child should ever have to endure such suffering. On behalf of the New Britain and Farmington Police Departments, we extend our deepest condolences to all who have been affected by this tragedy.
Thank you, Chief. Today is about providing the facts that we have available from here. The court system will take it and prosecute to the highest extent of the law.
Right.
I'd like to again send our deepest condolences to the family and friends of Jacqueline Torres, and I would like to open it up for questions now.
Can you
Okay.
tell us the bonds on the individuals?
$5 million.
A gajillion dollars.
For two already, and
So Karla Garcia is a $5 million bond. Jacqueline Garcia is a $1 million bond. And we have yet to pick up, and we are asking for the public's assistance in locating Jonathan. And he does have a $5 million bond on his also.
Gajillion dollars.
Expected in court tomorrow.
Yes.
Chief, can you talk anything about motive, anything along those lines at all? What happened here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think, much like Chief Melanson had said, it's important at this point to leave out some of those major details involved in this case in order to allow for the entire investigation to play itself out.
Had there been any reports that she'd been missing? Had anybody raised?
This is the question of the century, ladies and gentlemen. The report is asking, has there ever been any reports that she was missing? Let me go back, because this is the question of the century. This is probably the most important question of the night. It's over. She's gone. She's no longer with us. There's no bringing her back. There's no sorcery or witchcraft that's going to bring her back. She's in the bosom of God right now. 2, the people who have done this to her are now going to face justice. We know who did it. We have evidence against them. They're going to go to court. Most likely, they're going to end up spending the rest of their life in prison. The only real question that matters is, did anybody care about this girl when she was alive? That's the question. Did anybody give a darn about Jacqueline Torres? Let's see what the answer is to that very simple question.
Major details involved in this case in order to allow for the entire investigation to play itself out.
Had there been any reports that she'd been missing? Had anybody raised concerns, either from school districts or anybody, about where she'd been for months?
No.
No.
Can you share anything about the history of any of the people involved,
No.
as far as the criminal history or any prior interactions with law enforcement?
No. So when you guys see me rail on parents for not caring enough about their kids, I'm not being mean. I'm a parent. I got 3 kids. I would never want somebody to denigrate me on the internet, run me over the coals on the internet if a tragedy happened, knowing I've done my best. I only rail on parents who clearly aren't doing their best. So when I talk about where was the father, I'm talking facts here. Facts are facts. The little girl was missing since fall of 2024, and there's 0 missing person reports, 0 wellness checks requests, 0 complaints, period. Nobody cared. I'm not going to feel sorry for you because you lost yours. I'm not going to feel sorry for you because it's going to give you an excuse for your bad behavior. Nobody cared about this girl when she was alive. And guess what? Caring about her now that she's gone is not enough. It's not enough. Too many deadbeat dads in this world. Jen Soto, who gave birth to Madeline Soto, had a baby with a deadbeat dad. And guess what? Madeline is not here anymore. Guess what? I'm going to say it. I don't care how anybody feels about it. I believe that Jacqueline Torres' father was a deadbeat, because there's no way you could be a loving, caring, involved parent and your daughter's missing since fall of 2024 and you never called the cops, not one time. Don't tell me about parental alienation and all that bull crap. Nah, bro. You didn't care. You did not care.
Yeah, we don't have many details at this time. I know that there are reports that have been circling involving some of their criminal histories. We do have limited involvement with each of the people that are involved. Some of it dates back a couple years, some more recent. I can tell you that the most recent interaction we have was a simple motor vehicle stop that resulted in an infraction, but there was not much more than that.
Can you tell us if DCF, do you know if DCF was called prior to any of this? Do they have a case with them?
Did you want to take that one, Mayor?
I know you can't give details, but was DCF, did they have a case prior?
Yep.
They did.
That's a beautiful angel right there.
Prior to this going on, they had involvement with the family.
Yes.
Is there a second child involved, probably the sister, and we could talk about this?
Yes.
As far as this
Yes.
investigation is concerned, there's no other reports involving any of the other children that are involved.
But there are other children that were there that have been removed.
Are any other children safe, from this family?
Yeah, during our investigation, contact was made and all of the other children were determined to be safe.
Can one of the chiefs talk about the toll this takes on the men and women dealing with this kind of a case and what you found?
So, I mean, obviously, we handle many types of crimes in our line of work. The ones with kids are probably the most difficult, and obviously, the people standing behind me have been working since this call came in nonstop, 24/7. So it takes a toll mentally, physically, and it's very difficult for us to contemplate how this can happen
Indeed.
in a civilized society like ours. So 35 years, this is probably one of the worst cases that we've had to, I think the facts that you have, that she probably died a long time ago.
Damn.
And was stowed away is probably enough to show you
Shame.
what we are dealing with here.
Yeah.
So yes, very, very difficult on everybody handling these cases.
Has the report come back from the medical examiner's office in terms of cause and manner?
No, so we currently have just a verbal right now, but obviously any official report will wait for toxicology results and other sorts of things. So we won't have any reports from them.
I'm going to tell you something. Aki just made a point in the chat, and I didn't want to say anything about it, but I've been doing this a long time. This is another reason why I don't want to investigate kids. I investigate 13 and up. But I would not want to go to the child squad and investigate 12 and under, because this would break me, having to deal with this all the time. Because in my municipality, they don't just investigate ex abuse, they also investigate child abuse, period. So every time somebody put hands on a kid, they investigate that as well as somebody is ex abusing a kid. I just investigate ex abuse 13 and up. If it's physical abuse, then it goes to different detectives. If it's anything related to intercourse and it stays with me. But Aki made a point in the chat that I was thinking, because these all follow patterns. Remember, we're very unique and we're different, but we follow patterns. There's not 8 billion different ways of doing this. We're unique in our appearance, we're unique in our biochemistry, but we're not unique in the way that we integrate with our society. Bad guys follow patterns, good people follow patterns. I believe that when they're done their investigation, it's probably going to come out, just like Aki said in the chat, that probably the reason why those other kids were good, the reason why those other kids were not abused as much as Jacqueline, and Jacqueline seemed to be the one that was singled out. You may not want to hear what I'm about to say. You may put your fingers in your ear. I don't like saying trigger warning, but maybe this is a part where I need to say trigger warning. The reason why Jacqueline, this beautiful little girl, was singled out is because when they finished their investigation, I have no proof of this, just my theory. Remember, I said theory. Don't hold me to this. When they finished their investigation, they may determine if they can see it through their autopsy, because her body is badly decomposed and they may not be able to see it. They may also get other evidence, search warrants, phones, iCloud, all that stuff, that stepfather was probably doing stuff to her. That stepfather was probably doing untoward things to her, which made the mother, what's that magical word that the mothers get when the stepfathers and the boyfriends and stuff like that mess with their daughters? What is that magical word that those mothers always feel? Jealousy. Aki said it again, and Kitty said it. Jealous. That's why she got beat up by mommy and auntie. Malnutrition by mommy and auntie. Why is he choosing you over me? It's a pattern. They all fall into that pattern. It's, why is he choosing you over me? I'm now going to treat you like a rival instead of progeny that should be protected and loved. It's just my theory. There's no evidence of it. I'm telling you from my experience. There's a possibility when they're done with their investigation, they're going to find out there's a whole lot more to this story than what we see now. The problem is they had her in that barrel for so long, it will be very, very difficult to determine these things because those parts of her body are going to be severely decomposed. Severely decomposed. But let's keep going. Hopefully, with or without that information, this little girl would get justice. My problem is, if he's doing that, if he did that to her, and all they have him on now is hiding her body, that's not enough. That's 4, 5, 6 years in prison when he should be doing life in prison if he did untoward things to this beautiful little girl. We need to figure it out because that man might need to do life in prison instead of 5 years in prison. And I don't want him getting off easy if he was doing something untoward. I want 360 justice for Jacqueline Torres. I want the whole gamut. I want these people in jail for the rest of their life. Let's keep going.
Medical examiner for a short period of time other than their verbal report to the detectives. And I won't get too far into it. We have sealed the warrants. Because we are asking anybody who has any other information. People have called since this has been publicized, and we're really asking for anybody else who has any information to come forward and contact either the New Britain or Farmington Police Department, whoever you're comfortable contacting. We are working hand in hand, and everybody had said it. You know, our goal from the start of this was to bring justice for whoever murdered Jacqueline, and that's what we think that we have started to do last night by taking 2 into custody. But this doesn't end here, right? Like any investigation like this, this will go on and on for the days, months, and actually years to come. So we will still continue to look up any lead that we can, but we really do need anybody who has any information about this to please contact one of the police departments, which is why we do not want to release too many details, because we are looking for people to come forward who have some firsthand information on it.
Right.
I knew you were gonna
All right, real quick. Just want to address something in the chat so we can have some clarity. Erica Garcia says, strategic. Am I wrong? I thought Dad saw her on January 2025, but she's missing and probably gone since 2024. Did Dad lie, or did I misheard dates on last live? You misheard. The father spoke like a lawyer. He did not say he last saw her on her birthday, which was January 29th. That's what he said. He didn't say 25th. He said the last time he saw her was prior to her birthday in January 29th of 2025. He said prior to. And that's why we went on that whole diatribe on that show about what does it mean to say prior to. Could it have been a week prior? Could it have been a month prior, 6 months prior, a year prior? And we were correct in asking that question, because now it looks like she's been gone since the fall of 2024. So he spoke like a lawyer. You couldn't lock him in. He picked a date and he said, well, I didn't see her since before then. But he didn't tell us how long before or how much previous before that date he actually saw her. So he picked her birthday, which was the beginning of the year. Think about how disgusting that is. Her birthday was in the beginning of the year. The year is almost over. We're in October. We're in October right now. He said, the last time I didn't even say he saw her. He said he spoke to her. So that could mean via telephone. He said the last time I spoke to her was prior to her birthday on January 29th of 2025. Let's keep going.
Do we know exactly when was the girl brought to this abandoned location, or if that could be said?
No, not specifically. We do have, like the mayor touched on, the initial caller that called in. Those are circumstances and details that are a part of the overall investigation. Again, we thank that caller for coming forward. It took a lot of courage to do that based on what we've learned since our initial response. But like Chief Melanson has said, a lot of those finer details are going to remain with the case while the court process plays itself out.
Are you able to clarify who allegedly killed her and who then allegedly moved the body then to New Britain?
So if you look at the charges, you will see that both Karla and Jonathan were both charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. So I think that speaks for itself.
And if you could, I know you said Jonathan Manita, can we have that spelled out since we want to
Yep.
make that call out to the public?
Yeah, and I will give you afterwards, there are some copies of a press release which have actually the mugshots, the charges for the two who were arrested, and also the charges for Jonathan and his descriptors. But it's Jonatan, and the last name is Nanita.
Does anyone know when the last time she was seen or at
Boom.
school?
Another question. Another great question. Yo, I love this prosecutor. She is amazing. I think she's going to do an excellent job. Just her mannerisms alone tell me she is a genius. Okay? This case is solved. We're going to get guilty pleas. Look at her face. Every time they ask her one of these questions, and I'll tell you why she put that face on, because it's like, we should have an answer for this, but we don't, because these people that this little girl was unfortunately fated to be born to, these career criminals, all right? Mommy had assault charges. Daddy had drugs and gun charges. Like, these people are just the dregs of society, okay? I'm sorry. Get offended if you want. I don't care, okay? Like, whenever she gets a question that's like, it's like she's like, I'm in the Twilight Zone. Like, how do we not know when the last time this little girl was seen? How did nobody call in a missing person? We had 1,000 people. Big shout out to the community that came out there, because 90% of those people that was out there for her memorial did not know her and was out there to show support for her. So this is not a knock on the community. Big shout out to the community. But you had a whole ocean of people out there. Some people in that community knew this little girl, and not one of them called the cops. Not one of them called anybody and said, where is Jacqueline? Where is Jacqueline? I haven't seen Jacqueline in 1,000 years. Birthdays have come and gone. Thanksgiving has come and gone. Christmas has come. Did you not send cards to Jacqueline? Did grandma and great grandma and grandpa and uncles, did you not send Jacqueline Christmas gifts? Did you not think it was weird that Jacqueline did not say thank you that she got your gifts? Nobody cared. So she puts on these amazing faces because she is like, this is just diabolical. Look at her. Let's keep going. I want to go back. Go back. Listen to this.
She was seen or at school.
Look at her face. Yeah, you take this one.
Be very careful with where we go with that. That's a part of a large part of the investigation. There's been some information that's come forward between being removed from one school and entering another to being homeschooled. So I don't have the absolute specifics on that, but a lot of those finer details have come from the investigative steps taken by the men and women behind me and are a part of both affidavits that were.
Somebody said that's the mayor. My fault. I thought that was a prosecutor or something like that. All right. Great job if it's the mayor. She's a good politician.
Presented to the state's attorney's office and the judge.
So at some point, somebody indicated they were homeschooling this
Correct.
child. Now, you also mentioned in March of 2025, the family moved, so the remains were moved. Where did they move to? Do we know what town?
Again, that's also a part of this large-scale investigation that we'd like to keep those details as part of the affidavits. Again, touching on what Chief Melanson touched on, paying attention to the charges and the additional arrest warrant that we have for Jonathan Nanita. He was charged with tampering with evidence, which involves a large part of what you were asking.
We did say two were arrested yesterday. What was the state of the mom? Was she surprised when she found? Was she?
Both were taken into custody without incident. There were additional interviews that took place, and then they were turned over to the Farmington Police Department, and they are expected in court tomorrow.
Okay.
Which court? This court? Here or Hartford?
Litchfield.
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 So recently, as of October 1st, Farmington has fallen under the Litchfield Court District. So that's why we said we were working with the New Britain, obviously for what had transpired here. And previously we had been a part of the Hartford Judicial District, and now as of October 1st, we're a part of Litchfield Judicial District. So that's why
I think we have too many police departments, to be honest with you. Like, not that we should have less police. I just mean, like, you know, when you have all these towns and hamlets, maybe it make more sense if they were consolidated under like more regional police, just so you have more funding, more police officers that are able to respond to each neighborhood, and then you have more synergy. Like right now we have two neighboring police departments that they're doing a good job working with each other. I'm not hearing complaining about what they're doing, but just, you know, we got two bosses that are just swapping spaces when really it just should be one, you know, like these are neighboring towns. I that's more like a conversation for like civics, really. It's not a complaint. It's not political. It's like, what is the best serving of the taxpayers' money? Like in my municipality, like every single town has their own police. The municipality I live in, rather, every single town has their own police. You know, like you just drive a mile down the road and then you see a different police department, you know? And it's like, huh? And the funny thing is, because they're all so small, they'll all respond together. It doesn't matter what town you're in. Like if somebody asks for help, everybody's coming no matter what town. And then you have the New York State Police that'll come and help too. So if that's the case, why don't we just consolidate and just have one large police department that serves much of the county? I don't know. Whatever. Time and a place. This ain't the time and a place. I said that after I took like 5 minutes to say what I said. Let's keep going.
We've been working with them, and they will be presented tomorrow morning, the two that we have arrested. So, Litchfield.
Can you just clarify the suspicious activity that took place last week that was reported? Did that involve any of the suspects, or was that something else?
That involved the behavior that was witnessed in the rear property of 80 Clark Street. Again, more of the details have come out over the course of each investigation playing out with everybody involved. But the initial reports were that someone was in the rear of the property dropping off items to include that storage bin.
Was there any sort, we know she probably had physical abuse, malnutrition. Was there any sort of mutilation or anything to the body?
Not that we're aware of, no.
Lisa, just to answer the question you had about the school, just more directly, the last known registered schooling that she had was homeschool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Any kind of reason so far as why, this property in particular was chosen to discard the remains?
Abandoned. There's no connection. The property has no connection. We presume that just it was a known abandoned property in the neighborhood, and the property owner is an absentee landlord from New York.
So the implication here is that he was dropping off
This
container
man. Yeah, the
other
man,
day, and somebody
the man's making me laugh. Like, she give me Jenny from the Block vibes. Like she's a good time. Like, you can hang out with her and shoot the ish. she don't come off like as a normal politician. Let me get this last question and we'll get out of here. I like that though. I'm saying this as a compliment. I'm not saying this in any negative way. Most of these politicians so uptight. Like, she's not hiding how she feel. Like, she want justice. Let me hear what this reporter has to say with the question, and then we'll keep it moving.
So the implication here is that he was dropping off this container the other day and somebody reported it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's it. No more questions.
Any other questions? Thank you all.
All right. That's it, man. Great job. Great job on Connecticut for seeing this case through and being able to identify who took this beautiful girl's life and proceed to assist in aid and giving her justice. This was great. This is huge. So just to bring you guys up to speed before we get out of here, there are 3 arrests right now, okay? There is the mother, the aunt. This is the mother. This is the aunt, Jacqueline Garcia. The mother has a history of violence. She was convicted and pled guilty to assault charges in the past. The aunt is Jacqueline Garcia. She has a history of violence against children. She was convicted and pled guilty to assaulting a 5-month-old, where that 5-month-old was found with broken ribs, etc. And this is the boyfriend here, Jonathan Nanita, who is currently on the lam. He is on the run. He has a $5 million bond currently waiting for him to be posted on against him, or not posted, but to be given to him when he's caught and apprehended. And so far, they're basically charging him with hiding the body, right? They are charging auntie here, Jacqueline Garcia, with participating in the abuse. And let me get her picture up. In the abuse of beautiful Jacqueline Torres. So she is being charged, Jacqueline Garcia, with abusing Torres. The mother, Karla Garcia, is being charged with unaliving Torres. And Jonathan, and I'm saying it that way because that's how it's spelled, but I'm sure it sounds much better if you say it in Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. Jonathan Nanita, I'm trying my best, is charged with hiding her body. And I believe that when this investigation continues and as the police get back more results from their autopsy, there's a good chance that he might have done more to this girl. I believe that Jonathan Nanita, based off of the pattern that we see in these situations, may have been done more to this girl. So Obsidian basically put up, she said that Jonathan also murdered, conspiracy, and tampering. I just have not seen that myself. Like, if you look at the article right here, it says police are looking for Karla Garcia's boyfriend, Jonathan Nanita. He is also being charged with tampering with evidence, according to police. So maybe I missed it when they said it during the press conference, but I don't want to say that he's being charged with murder until I read it myself. and I see it myself. So Obsidian is really good. It's part of our crew. She said he's also being charged with murder, but I'm not going to say it as Strategic Eyes, talking to myself in third person like I'm crazy, until I read it myself. So far in this article that's summarizing the press conference, it says he's only being charged with tampering with evidence, and I don't recall when we listened to that press conference together, I don't recall them saying that he was charged with murder as well. Big shout out to Chewbacca with a $2 super chat says, Gen Pop, I like that Chewbacca. That's funny. With a Canadian $2 super chat says, Gen Pop will make sure they get the right sentence. That's a fact. That's a fact. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. But I think, like I was saying, when they do their investigation, it might turn out that he did a little bit more than what they know right now to this little girl, because these ladies that fall in this archetype, they do horrible things to angels like this when they are jealous of them, when they are jealous of these angels. That's why they do horrible things. We'll see what happens, guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining the channel. Please make sure you hit the like button on your way out the door. We got 260 people watching this live right now. Only 167 likes. Please remember to hit that like button. We're only troubling you to hit the like button so we can get into the algorithm so that this show could be seen by a wider audience, so we can get to 100,000 subscribers. That is our goal. That is our dream. 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And right now we have less than 900 subs to go. Less than 900 until we get to 100,000 subscribers. And I plan on doing it huge for that 100,000 subscriber celebration. We're going to be giving money away. We're going to be giving merch away. We're going to be giving a whole bunch of stuff away to you beautiful people who have been with us on this journey and helped us achieve that goal when we achieve that goal. But that goal starts now by hitting that like button. All right. Without you, we are nothing. That being said, big shout out to all the members who have joined us today. Big shout out to all the people who are part of our Patreon who are not members. And so you can't see that they're supporting the channel, but they are supporting the channel because they're a part of that Patreon. All right, guys. Let's see. I'll share this video out. Chemical W6 says, I'll share this video out. Got to spread the word out. True Crime Strategic. Love you. Peace, fire, whole hearts, a whole nine. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. Let's get that outro queued up. There we go. Before we go, let's say a prayer on our own time and show some love to Jacqueline and pray that she gets the justice that she deserves. Justice for Jacqueline Torres. I'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.